Oops, correction. Episode 170 of the Hoots podcast. Knock on wood if you're with me.
Love that, man. Every time.
Hope you guys are doing well. My name is Joshie. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Hoots podcast. Instagram, Joshie Lopez 94. I really don't want to be on social media, but how you guys are going to find the show? There's other ways, though, besides social media. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or Google Play. I think our show is on 10 different streaming platforms, which is kind of insane. But shout out to Anchor and that website for distributing the show out to all you good brothers and good sisters who take the time to listen to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, an hour. Depending how long you guys listen to the show, we appreciate your support. So I'm not alone. I'm alongside the Cloud Prince of Podcasting, Adam Daley. What's up, brother?
Josh, what's up? I'm the Harlequin I hate coming in strong this weekend. I haven't been this excited for a weekend in a very, very long time. Fantasy football draft tonight, 2 of them actually. New Tool album at midnight. So by the time most of you are going to be hearing this, the new Tool album is going to be out. Got a fantasy football draft tomorrow. We got Punk's interview on Saturday, All Out. WWE's picking up with some storylines. Things are really, really good right now, my man.
Yeah, we got 3 pay-per-views. We got New Japan Royal Quest from the Copper Box, NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff, which we're going to talk about in a couple minutes,
Ooh, yeah.
and of course closing it out with All Out. By the way, ProWrestlingTranscriptions.com. I am transcribing all 3 pay-per-views this weekend for you guys, so go check out the website if you can. We're going to save our thoughts for the pay-per-view for AEW towards the end of the show, because that'll be our featured talking part for Through the Eyes of a 9-Year-Old when AJ joins us later on in the show. Really quick, one last thing. Make sure to, if you like the show, give us an honest rating and review. Tell us what you think about the podcast. We do appreciate your feedback. And even any suggestions of stuff you would like us to talk about or add something different to the show. I know it says a Hoots podcast, and we do dominate a lot of the conversation with wrestling, but it's not only a wrestling podcast. We do talk a lot about comedy, music, this stuff, just to have a general conversation as if me and Adam are chilling in a back porch somewhere, you know. It's just general brotherly conversation, and we appreciate your support. So any suggestion is a good suggestion. So
absolutely. Absolutely. It's a world where I think, you know, everybody always wants to give their opinion on stuff. We can at least make jokes about it.
Right, exactly.
And speaking of jokes, we got jokes, but everybody should go to Netflix and watch Dave Chappelle's new stand-up and take this politically correct world and turn that sumbitch sideways and you know where you could stick it, because it was one of the most refreshing comedy specials I've seen in damn near 20 years. And it made me realize that y'all need to shut your mouth. Always complaining. Wah, it's not what I really like. So it's not. I don't like the direction they're going in. So I don't know. Wah. Shut up, man. Ain't no one cares. And I'm not singling. I'm talking about anything, whether it's wrestling, whether it's movies, whether it's music, whether it's comedy, whether it's whatever. Nah, nobody cares. Your feelings never paid my bills.
Make sure to check out the Joker trailer that came out the other day. Fantastic.
So good. No, I totally get why people wouldn't want to see Joker. You know what I mean? It's going to be a little different than what people are used to, but yeah,
that first week in October is going to be insane.
It's crazy. There's a lot going on.
You got the first AEW show,
yep,
October 2nd. We got the first SmackDown show on Fox on Friday, and I'm going to be in town for that. We got Hell in the Cell October 6th, and the Bears are playing the Raiders that weekend. So,
yep,
man, I can't wait to get out to the Bird.
It's gonna be a fun weekend. It's starting that month. Starting my 40th. That's the Adam Daley 40-year-old world tour right there. October 2019.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
Making 40 look damn good for this new generation, if I do say so myself.
Before we get to AEW and all the stuff going on this weekend, I do want to talk a little bit about what happened on Raw and SmackDown this week. Let's start off on a positive note. Let's talk about the King of the Ring tournament. Buddy Murphy and Ali ripped it up. We said it last week that these guys were going to kill it again, and they had a fantastic match on SmackDown. this week. I think for the most part, the King of the Ring tournament matches have been really good and been given their own time. I mean, even the Miz and Baron Corbin, you could look at that match on paper and be like, oh, it's just going to be rest holds and this and that. I thought Miz and Corbin had a really good match.
Yeah,
and
I do too.
The best part about it is that every King of the Ring tournament match so far, it's had investment from the crowd too. And you can even notice that with Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin with the little thing they've been doing on SmackDown over the last couple weeks. So I've enjoyed the matches so far. What have you liked from the matches this week for the tournament?
Ali Buddy Murphy to me was the match of the week. I mean, I don't want to shortchange anybody else, but they're both so good, man. So good. So that's going to headline, I think, King of the Ring for me this week. But I like the direction. I really actually like where they're at with King of the Ring because I could see, we kind of were like fantasy, like what it could be this person, it could be that person. Right now, I can see damn near everybody that's left winning in some way. Whether it's, maybe Ali has a turn coming up. Maybe Chad Gable has a turn coming up, right?
Right.
Maybe we really don't know. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I as much as I hate to say it, I feel like Seth Alexander might be the odd man out because I can't see him making a turn and he's going to stay babyface, so, and and not that means anything. I don't know, Josh, what do you feel about this, man? I feel like you almost have to have an antagonist win King of the Ring or somebody that's about to become an antagonist. And I said it last week, but.
Mm-hmm. And that was originally my point when it came to Baron Corbin. I was like, oh, Baron Corbin has to win or else. I mean, Samoa Joe could be a good King of the Ring. Right. He's still a bad guy. Andrade, with the push he's been given, obviously it would work for him. We talked about Elias last week. There's a lot of options, and that's a good thing. While maybe certain performers you think have been put in position from a predictable standpoint, the matches have been good. Either guys could have won at either time. Case in point, the Ricochet Drew McIntyre match from Raw this Monday, I thought was really good.
Yep.
And Ricochet won. And you got Ricochet going against Samoa Joe on Monday and Corbin and Alexander. Clash of styles. And that's the cool thing about the King of the Ring, too. It's not the same styles. You got two different type of performers in the matches, too. So I just like the overall presentation of it so far. So as far as a baby face or a heel wins, I think whoever wins the tournament is actually going to benefit from it. I really do. That's why I don't care who wins. I love Corbin's promo. You guys heard it in the intro for the podcast this week. It's legitimate. You feel from the crowd. The little interview they did with Corbin before Raw started this Monday, where he's like, there was a poll, and they said anybody but Corbin to win the King of the Ring tournament, and just his responses went well with what his character is. Maybe real life too, but
wait. So was that an actual answer on that poll? Was anybody but Corbin?
I guess I don't have the full accurate details.
Because if that's the case, then aren't they just fishing for people to pick that? You know what I mean? That's like here's the thing, guys. We're gonna give away free money. Here's $5. Here's $5. Here's $5. Or here's $25,000. You're gonna take the 25,000. It's like being like you're just it's being draped right in front of your eyes. So I mean that's kind of I think that's it's people falling for cheap heat. Or it's workable heat though. I'm not saying it's not cheap in a terrible way. It's good heat.
Or falling for certain clues for people that still watch Wheel of Fortune. I don't, but I can see where to work there.
Man, I'll buy a vial. I ain't scared of Pat Sajak. I'll knock that little midget out.
Yeah, I don't know why. Every time I watch the show, I don't know why he seems stuck up. I don't know. Either he's a guy or he is stuck up. I don't know.
He's a big alcoholic too, I think. I'm just going to speculate and say that he is. Screw it. Who cares? That's what everybody else does.
Shit.
Where's JJ Bittenbinder? Let's get to the root of the fucking problem here.
Right. Exactly. Real quick, so I could update the brackets for everybody. We got Ali against Elias and Andrade against Chad Gable for SmackDown next week, which should be a lot of fun. I mentioned already it's going to be Baron Corbin and Cedric Alexander and Samoa Joe against Ricochet. I'm pretty sure Kevin Owens is still going to find a way to get in the way of Elias because he's still got this feud going on with Shane McMahon. You kind of saw Kevin Owens cost Elias the 24/7 title on SmackDown this week. So we'll see what happens. I just been enjoying the matches and just the way they've been presenting the King of the Ring tournament so far. So good stuff so far. Let's see what else we can add onto the list here. The dynamic of, the next interview is called Clash of Champions, right? And everybody's like, oh my God, why you have Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins as a tag team? It's random and this and that. Well, okay, it can look random on paper, but you have two champions, have double champions. The pay-per-view is called Clash of Champions. It's not like you have Rollins and Strowman having this program going into a No Mercy or I don't know, whatever random name for a pay-per-view, Capital Punishment, right?
Right, yes.
Like,
yeah, we won't talk about that.
That would be random, but Clash of Champions in its own way is a gimmicky pay-per-view. They are champions. They are in the feud with each other.
And I didn't realize this either, Josh. And I'm sorry. Let me throw 2 cents in right here.
Mm-hmm.
Is we've been calling it Night of Champions because that's what the pay-per-view has been as of its most recent incarnation, which I think was a couple years ago, right?
Yes.
So it's been a while since they've actually used Clash of Champions. So as much as we don't like it, that's kind of what they're telling us,
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, when it comes to the tag team division and stuff, I still said it after the OC lost their titles a couple weeks ago. I still think before Clash of Champions, they'll get their titles back. I'm not concerned about that. I know everybody's like, oh, what was the point of the tag team turmoil? And if you're just going to have two guys that are going to be fed to Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins, how do you know 100% that Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins are going to be having two matches on that pay-per-view?
Right.
Are you that convinced that's going to happen?
We still got, 2 weeks to the pay-per-view, something like that?
September 15th. That's the date for the pay-per-view. So either 2 or 3 weeks. So
2 or 3 Raws. So, yeah. Yeah, so there's still time. There's still so much time. 2 or 3 Raws is like 5 years in the real world.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So you have Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler pair up for this tag team turmoil. Whoever won the match has a opportunity to fight Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins at the pay-per-view. And you were talking about it last week where, when it comes to like multi-person matches, you don't like just one pinfall and that's it.
Correct.
Like you like the elimination style. Do you mind tag team turmoils or not?
You know what? I thought it was an interesting little twist. I thought it was a great way to eat up some of the 3 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to say
I was
one.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I don't want to say I was one way or the other too much on it because it was just something that I thought it was better than. I don't want to say better. I mean, it was at least something different, Yeah. Whether we liked it or we didn't like it, and I say we as the wrestling collective, I guess, but I didn't mind it. I think, I don't know, Josh, let me get an opinion out of you. I actually feel like more people are upset with it because Ziggler and Robert Roode won versus anything else, because that's what seemed random to them, because it was like, oh, well, what are they doing tagging together? Well, a lot of tag teams kind of start that way,
Yep.
And who knows? Like obviously it's their first night as a tag team. Let's let it play out.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Let's look at this on the preface of the people that are in that match. OC wins. The complaint would be, then what was the point of having them lose the titles the week before?
Right.
Viking Raiders win. Oh, predictable. They're just going to run through the tag division.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Heavy Machinery are on SmackDown. They weren't getting the titles. Revival are in a program with the New Day and Kofi Kingston. They weren't winning the match.
Yep.
Is the B team going to win? Are the Lucha House Party going to win?
I hope not.
I thought Bully Ray pointed this out really good because there was a lot of people overreacting when it came to that match and the purpose behind it. It protected the OC and the Viking Raiders for in the case they have a program with each other down the road.
Agreed.
That's why they had the double count out thing, right? No, double DQ, right?
Double DQ, yeah. I didn't mind that.
Yeah. So they're not affected by that. But let's say the OC and the Viking Raiders lost. You would still be going, oh, what the hell are they doing with these guys? What are you going to do with the tag division? Like, it's in a position where they can't win no matter who wins or who's booked into winning that match. So yes, on the preface, Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler are random before anything happens. But I thought it was pretty funny. Bobby Roode put the meme with the Spider-Man meme where they're just pointing at each other.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty
And
funny.
then there's another like comparison of like Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect being a tag team.
Ooh, yeah, good call. Man, I didn't even think about that one. I just wasn't feeling good this week. That's a really good call.
That's a Throwback Thursday little mention there for you guys.
I appreciate that comparison.
Yes, sir. So I didn't think it was the end of the world. I didn't think it made the tag teams look horrible or anything like that. It was just a match to kill time on the show. And I still feel one way or another, Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins will not be the tag team champions before Clash of Champions. And just to make everybody happy, you can have the OC, Viking Raiders, and Mr. Perfect and Rick Rude 2.0 at Clash.
The Heenan Family 2.0
as a three-way match. How about that?
And you know, one thing I did like about it, Josh, is that you know, and I know nobody's necessarily saying that they're kind of like programming or counter programming against one another, and that's fine. But you know, when you have the Young Bucks kind of saying that AEW is going to be the place for tag team wrestling, and I'm not taking any sides in this battle. That's up for you guys to decide. But why not?
Hold up, really quick on the AEW thing. Are they gonna have another tournament after their first tournament is gonna be over? Because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know, when they're talking up their tag team division, you know, and you've heard a lot of WWE fans lately say, "Hey, we want to see more from the tag division." This is the perfect time to showcase them, right? Right before All Out, right? You know, and I'm not saying that they're always going to do that, but why not? Why not give, you know, why not have, you know, and I'm about that with any division right now, whether it's the cruiserweights, whether it's the women's division, whether it's the tag team division, the women's tag team division, give them a nice little chunk of a property on one of the shows. You know, you have 5 hours a week now, potentially going to 6 hours a week if SmackDown goes to 3 hours, right? That's a lot of real estate where that in a way the only criticism, and again, it's not really a criticism. We know WWE's template. Is that a lot of their show is video clips from you know, but you have to keep everybody kind of caught up. So I'm not mad at that, you know, but by the same token, when we finally get something like this, when we get a division that we haven't seen, we get a lot of competitors we haven't seen, people are finally getting TV time, it seemingly would please everybody, we still find a reason to complain. So I'm okay with what they did with the tag teams this week, man. I actually thought it was nice.
I think there needs to be a case study of who are actually watching these shows, because a lot of times I find myself thinking, okay, it's the internet fans, the people that do shows like this, is that the majority of today's fans, or is it still people who are casual, who are not watching it like seriously like we are and paying attention to every little thing that happens on the show? I need to find what the ratio is between that.
I'll be honest, if you're sinking 6 hours non-committal into WWE, and this isn't a knock on WWE, so nobody please take it this way, but I don't care what it is. I wouldn't watch an Oakland Raiders football game if it was 6 hours. I'd tap out after hour 5. Like, there was a game in Mexico a couple years ago. I just was begging for end in overtime. Just like, please, I don't even care at this point. Walk out with a tie, just end this shit.
Well, what about the people that watch 12 hours of the NFL every Sunday?
I can't do it, but you know what? But even if I can't do it anymore, I got too much on my plate that I have to do in real life. But you know, and by the way, if you're over
terms,
yeah, you know what I mean. But at the same time, at least I guess you're watching different games over those 12 hours. It's a different, you know, different tempo, different mood. It's kind of like you're watching 3 different movies versus just. So I get it. But it's still that's a chunk of your, you know, that's a big chunk of your week getting sunk into one thing. So what I was going to say was, I'm not saying I don't watch all 6 hours. Of course, I fast forward through certain things. You know, I skip through commercials. That takes, you know. But if you do go on, you know, if you're watching 6 hours uninterrupted a week of commercials and video, you know, the recap videos and this and that and this and that, but just your eyes don't have to be glued to the TV the whole time. Get up, get some exercise, go to the bathroom so you're not just soiling yourself like the stigma of wrestling fans is. You know, I don't know, man. I just think that a lot of times we go in, and I think this is a very 29th thing to do. We think we build up an expectation in our mind of how it should fit our needs, and if it doesn't fit our needs, then we feel we have to completely tear it down.
Right.
And I refuse to do that anymore, but by the same token, I'm not going to give, and it doesn't matter who it is, I'm not going to give them my undivided attention, whether it's WWE, the Oakland Raiders. I don't, the Joker movie. If it's not good, they're, and it doesn't mean 1 week doesn't make the product not good, guys. I hate to break it to you. Even the Lakers lost a game every once in a while in their heyday.
Yeah.
So.
And we still got 2-3 more weeks for Clash of Champions.
Right.
Who knows which show in between is going to be good or bad. Let's let these stories play out.
It's the participation trophy generation, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because everybody always got what they wanted. Oh, I just played so I could get a shiny trophy. I didn't really want to win. I just wanted a shiny trophy. Mm-hmm. Look, I got a shiny trophy that says loser real big on it, but I got a shiny trophy. Even though it says last place, it's a shiny trophy.
We need to get away with
participation.
We need to move on from participation trophies. Knock on wood if you're with me. There you go. Last thing for this week in WWE, because we're going to save the Roman stuff towards the end, because I know AJ wanted to talk about that, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about Sasha Banks. She got to start off the show. Big spotlight, her fans are getting everything they wanted now. She's in one of the top programs. She's going to fight for the championship. She gave to start out the show. She's in the position people think that she should have been the entire time. This and that, whether that's true or not, that is subjective. It's not black or white. But Sasha got to cut her promo and also have a match against Natalya. Even though their match wasn't that long, I thought they made the most of it for their match. But there was a lot of dialogue and discussion about Sasha Banks' promo to start off the show. What was your thoughts on it, Adam?
Okay, so I just want to preface this by saying, before anybody wants to attack me, like I was really looking forward to Sasha coming back, and I'm still looking forward to what they do with her. But this was not her night at all. The match was great, not knocking the match, but the promo, it's your first real promo. I mean, I know they had the taped one last week, whatever. This is the first time you're in a ring cutting a promo. You're starting off the show. Talk about real estate. That's important WWE real estate, right? You're leading off Raw.
Yes.
That promo was so weak, man. It was like basically like, let me see how many times I can say WrestleMania in like 2 minutes. I'm just gonna say WrestleMania, and then WrestleMania, then after WrestleMania, and then before WrestleMania, and then during WrestleMania. And it's like, okay, we get it. Like it sounded like Trump saying nothing in 5 minutes. Like it was you said nothing. And I'm not gonna blame Sasha Banks for that promo, but something else needs to happen, because that promo, and I'm not, I'm not really usually hard on a promo, and I'm not trying to go at Sasha either, because I actually like Sasha. But what I'm saying is that promo was void of any emotion. It was bland. It was repetitive, and it seemed like there was no story was told. I guess that's the best way of saying it. That's the art of storytelling, is when you cut a promo, and I don't really know anything other than maybe she's upset about WrestleMania, or maybe she didn't care about WrestleMania, or maybe I just know something about WrestleMania because she said it 85 times. There we go, Josh.
Jeez. JR always says you got to maximize your TV time, pal.
Absolutely.
Got to maximize your TV time. And you talk about real estate, just property in general for television time. You're doing it in front of Vince. Right. Like, this is your opportunity as a performer to either prove or disprove any inclination. How you say that? Inclinations? There you go. Yeah, inclinations or assumptions that Vince has of you as a performer. You can either prove him right or prove him wrong. Mm-hmm. And I know the easy thing to go to is, they just gave him bad material to work with.
But there was no emotion in what she said either. That's my problem. There was absolutely no emotion.
But when do we get to the point where we start actually pointing out maybe the performers are adding their 2 cents into the promos? Is every single promo is just only the script? Because that's what we've been led to believe.
And now here's where I get petty. I just really wish she knew how to say the word division. Division. It's not hard. We speak English here in America. That's division. Speak American. Division. Not division. Division. The winners of the division. I was like, what is she saying? Okay. I mean, it just wasn't. Listen, it was just probably an off night for Sasha. Let's not get too carried away. We all have bad days. We all have. It is what it is. Maybe it was nerves. Maybe it was maybe she was handed a terrible sheet. Maybe it was whatever. But at the end of the day, my complaint was more that there was no true emotion in it either. It just didn't feel like her heart was in it. It just felt like wasted time.
Yeah, and then also you have that passive-aggressive attitude where she's just mentioning everything that people reported on the dirt sheets about how she acted at WrestleMania 35. Yeah, I did. Oh, I took my ball and went home. Yeah, I did. And I could do it again. They showed the promo from Becky last week where it really resonated with a lot of people, right? We talked about how good Becky's promo was. Not one time you felt the passion or the rage behind Sasha for why she attacked Becky, or it's like I was waiting for Sasha to go after Becky. It said she changed her direction of her promo. Just mention what everybody's saying on social media about her.
Yeah,
because she's so indulged with her ego, as Corey Graves would say. Sasha Banks is always about Sasha Banks. She's not even recognizing the shit that the wrestlers are actually talking about her. It's like she's in her own world, like her own bubble.
And I want Sasha Banks to come back to where she's making a difference in this division, as she would say. But it's just, and again, I'm not trying to, I like Sasha, so I'm not trying to like tear down Sasha at all. It was just a terrible night. And this is the other thing I must admit. I'm starting to get tired of the I'm taking my ball and going home promo. I'm not saying there isn't sometimes that you utilize it. Absolutely. But it just seems to be overused, right? Everything that people say, it's been beat to death with CM Punk's promos, like when he was doing he was going to leave WWE. There are a lot of people, and I don't want to say everybody, but there's a lot of people that are just still kind of taking pieces of that promo and still shoving it down our face 5 years later and 6 years later, 7 years later. And it's like, well, I guess that was 2011. So we're talking 8 years now, but it's how many times are we going to hear the same thing? For example, Josh, on SmackDown, I thought Randy Orton's promo was amazing. My only complaint was we did this last August with Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. He got a letter from Wendy and read it and said he was going to pay Wendy a visit, and it's the same exact promo. So it's not, to me, it wasn't the promo per se. It's that we got damn near the same thing last year, just with two different people. I think with Sasha's promo, like I said, my biggest thing was there was no real emotion in it. It felt like somebody that didn't want to be there. And I want to believe that Sasha wants to be there. Whether or not she really does, I don't know. I mean, who knows?
There's three things in wrestling that I can't stand. And this is all just not the product. This is just overall from the fan reaction toward it. We need to stop recreating pipe bombs and the expectations of having pipe bombs for people taking their ball and go home. Second, try to recreate the Daniel Bryan road to WrestleMania 30 every WrestleMania.
Yep.
And thirdly, why do people think that literally stuff that's reported and written on dirt sheets should be literal promos from these wrestlers on these shows?
To me, that's cheating.
Why?
Yeah. I mean,
it's no reality to that. That's your assumption of what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, it's easy. It's not. There's no effort in going online and saying, okay, let me hashtag myself and then see what people are saying, and I'm just going to take all the negative stuff that I can find and just go out there and to me that's lazy heat. And conversely, Corbin's to me was great heat. And it's almost the same thing. It just was handled differently. That's all. And that's my only complaint. And again, it's not really even Sasha the Entertainer that I'm talking about here. It's just, I think it was a bad night. I think it was a mix of bad things. So everyone relax. But you can't deny that it was a very lackluster promo.
It's like expecting Drew McIntyre to come out and say, oh man, I've been booked horribly and my win-loss record and all this other stuff. Is there any reality to it? Do you actually care?
No. Do you truly believe that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess what do we, if we're buying into the character, what do we truly believe Sasha Banks is? Right? I think that's where we're at with Sasha, because is she the legit boss? Is she not the legit boss? Because we haven't really seen the legit boss since NXT. And I don't even know if that character would translate well onto Raw or SmackDown.
This is going to get a lot of people triggered, man. And I told this to you before we recorded the show today.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, from a character and an in-ring performer standpoint, I think Sasha is a one-hit wonder. I think she has her good aspects. I'm not saying she's a bad wrestler or anything like that. I enjoy watching her perform, but there's also a difference from comparing the Verve to, let's say, Fall Out Boy or
oh god. So I'm going with the Verve every time, the one-hit wonder.
Yeah. I'm not Fall Out Boy.
Damn it, Lopez.
I'm not a Fall Out Boy fan. I'm just saying there's a difference from one hit and people who get constant hits and stuff.
Right.
Hell, I know there was a time where Fall Out Boy was irrelevant, and maybe for a good reason. But even when they came back and they were having hits, and you hear songs play in NBA Finals and all these different places and stuff.
Right.
So I'm looking. My bigger point is I'm looking more for the evolution of Sasha Banks. I already know what the perception of Sasha Banks is. Can we see something new with her character, though?
I would agree with that. I mean, every character needs to evolve in some extent. And you know what? Listen, they're early on with her coming back. This is only her third week back. So, you know, or whatever. So, you know, we have a long way to go to see what the new Sasha Banks, in quotes, is going to be. I don't know, man. And I was hoping for a little bit more. And I mean, again, it's, you know, when you hope for something, again, the expectations thing. So I don't want to sound like everybody else, but I just wasn't there with the promo. And maybe it was just me. I've felt like crap all week. So, I mean, maybe it was just me, but I just, you know, there's a couple promos this week that I was really like, oh, okay, this is building something. I just didn't feel it. Like, and I actually felt like we were going to get something. I was ready. I'll admit I was ready for something like, okay, here we go. This is going to be good. Right. Maybe it was just me being let down. Josh, I really don't know what it is. It just wasn't there. It seemed easy. It seemed just thrown together. It seemed lazy. And I hate to say it. It just seemed lazy.
You know what? You were talking about Chappelle earlier. We should add like a petty character to the Haters Club.
Right.
The Haters Ball. Just like one guy that's being petty just for no reason. All petty. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff before we bring in AJ. 5 matches. Just to do quick predictions for the show on Saturday. I'm very excited for it. I've been pumping up this show on this podcast over the last couple weeks. It's gonna be a fun show. I think Vic Joseph and Nigel do a great job on commentary for NXT UK, and they're gonna bring that energy on Saturday. And again, like I said last week, the UK crowds, no matter it's in Wales, England, no matter where they are, they just bring it, man. The UK fans are awesome, and I'm excited to see the energy for this show on Saturday. It's starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which makes it 1 here in Chicago. So it's during the afternoon. I don't know what time the New Japan show is. I'm probably going to cover that show on Sunday, but we have 5 matches for NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff. Adam, I know you haven't had a chance to watch the shows recently, but I'll just tell you the matches and you tell me who you like in that one, all right?
Sounds good.
All right. Toni Storm is putting her NXT UK women's title on the line against Kaylee Ray. Kaylee Ray had a lot of buzz. She's been in multiple promotions and it's been a wrestler for a long while. I'm very excited for this match. Toni Storm's been the NXT UK Women's Champion for a while, even to the point where Rhea Ripley is now on NXT going after Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. I like that.
I like Toni Storm. She's awesome. But I also like Kaylee Ray too, so it could go either way. But I think Toni Storm retains. Who you got in that one?
Yeah, I'll go Toni Storm on this one. And listen, I agree. I like both of these competitors. They both are terrific. So it's either way. We're gonna enjoy the outcome. But yeah, I'm going with Toni Storm.
Cesaro said he's gonna make an appearance at NXT UK Takeover this weekend. So
that's pretty cool.
Here to see what he does there. Travis Banks against Noam Dar from 205 Live.
He's going to be doing something European. It's going to be very European.
Very, very European. Really quick, though, Travis Banks and Noam Dar. This is a match where you get the this is awesome chance, and I'm pretty sure this match will start out the show. I'll go with Travis Banks in this one.
Yeah, I'll go with Banks with this one as well.
Well, just from what I've been watching for NXT UK, Travis Banks recently had an opportunity to fight Walter for the UK title.
Walter.
So I think they still want to get momentum behind Travis Banks. By the way, Mark Andrews is on the show. Him and Flash Morgan Webster, Austin Powers.
They're men, manly men. They're men in tights.
They're fighting Gallus and the Grizzly Young Veterans triple threat tag team match for the NXT UK tag team titles. I'm very excited for this match. I think this match could steal the show, actually. I already told you guys how I feel about the Grizzly Young Veterans, but with it being in Wales, I think they may want to have an upset on this show. So I'm going to go with Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews.
You know what? I don't really want to give a prediction because I haven't seen any of them compete under the WWE NXT umbrella yet. And I almost feel like, I feel like it would just be, I'm not going to be that guy that's just kind of, predicting just to predict and project in a way. So I'm just going to stay out of this one. Like Kyle and I said in the one South Park, we're just going to stay out of this one.
Right. We got a Hoss match. Oh, by the way, speaking of Hoss matches, check out Dominic Dijakovic, or wherever the hell you pronounce his last name. Him against Keith Lee on NXT this week was freaking insane, man. Dude, Keith Lee is like Thanos, and he's doing an avalanche Spanish fly off the top rope. It's freaking insane, man. Go check out that match. It was a lot of fun. Anyways, we got Dave Mastiff against Joe Coffey from Gallus. This one's going to be a Hoss match. These two have been feuding with each other for the last 3 to 4 months. And got a last man stand match. This match should be a lot of fun, too. I know Dave Mastiff has his following and this and that, but
I like Mastiff.
Joe Coffey is pretty good, too, actually.
Absolutely.
I think some people kind of forgot about the title match he had with Pete Dunne for the last UK TakeOver. That match was awesome. So, I'm excited for this match, but I'm going to go with Joe Coffey in this one.
Just to play the contrarian, I'll go with Mastiff on this one.
Nice.
There we go.
They call Dave Mastiff the Bomber, and it fits the description. Yep. Nice. Finally, Walter against Tyler Bate for the WWE United Kingdom Championship.
Walter. It's all about Walter.
Imperium. They're a faction, man. They got 4 people in there. They snagged Alexander Wolf from Sanity, and they got Barthel and Eichner as the tag team in the faction. So, I got Walter, but man, for how small Tyler Bate is, that dude's one of the strongest wrestlers I've ever seen in my life, man.
Oh, he's crazy good. Yeah, he's crazy good.
Big, strong boy. I'm very curious what the unique chants they're going to be doing during this show. I can't wait, bro. Especially when it comes to that tag team match, just listen to how they act towards Zach Gibson, man. It's just hilarious. They do something with their shoes. It's pretty funny. I don't know what they're chanting, and it's still funny. But the funny thing is they speak our language, and I don't even know what the hell they're saying.
And listen, I apologize to anyone listening to this that's hearing my dog run around and whining like this. Like my neighbor's cutting grass, so she's just running around losing her mind. So I apologize, guys.
All right. So we got NXT UK TakeOver out of the way. Make sure to check out New Japan's Royal Quest if you get the time over the weekend. It's going to be a fun show on that end. Suzuki is fighting Okada for the main title. And Ishii against Kenta for the first time. That's going to be insane. So a lot of wrestling coming out this weekend, but the main event of the weekend and for this particular podcast this week, through the eyes of a 9-year-old. It's that time, brother.
It is. What are we gonna do when we change the name of it when she turns 10? Just change the name of it, I guess, huh?
I leave that up to you, man. You are the
right.
Yes.
So all right, let's bring her in here since we're doing through the eyes of a 9-year-old. Listen, this is the most fascinating, the most exciting segment in all of pro wrestling podcasting. Yeah. We're talking about Through the Eyes of a 9-Year-Old, starring the one, the only AJ Daley. What do you say here, AJ?
Hello, how are you?
Knock on wood if you're with me.
How are you guys doing today?
We're doing all right.
We're doing really good.
What say you today on this fine Thursday afternoon?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm practically awesome today.
Practically awesome.
As my
Can that be someone's gimmick? Practically awesome.
It's better than the alternative. So
as my dog eats food and growls.
yes,
Yeah, she's kind of losing her mind here.
Yes.
Piper. All right, let's see. What do you want to start with here, AJ? Roman or AEW?
Roman.
All right. So on SmackDown this week, we continued this saga going on with Roman Reigns and who attacked him and this and that. We got the fake Eric Rowan dad last week, which was pretty funny.
I think I seen that dude in a commercial this week. I'm serious. I swear to you, I think I saw the act. I don't know. I'll say that for after we go off the.
Roman got new footage for the original attack with the lighting grid, and it ended up being Eric Rowan, or at least the assumption for him under the hoodie. Daniel Bryan went in have a hissy fit and just slapped the crap out of him. Daniel Bryan goes to the ring and gets speared by Roman Reigns. AJ, what do you think about what they did with the Roman situation this week?
I like it. I like how, because Daniel Bryan hates liars.
Hates him.
He beat up Rowan, which I think that he's in on it because he hates liars. So why would he team up with one?
Usually, if you're calling somebody a liar, you're doing the lying yourself. But
Yes.
neither here nor there.
He hates liars.
Here's my one question for both of you guys, and I know we're suspending disbelief here, but nobody saw Eric Rowan there. Nobody else. He was like 2 feet away from everybody in that video, and nobody saw him. He was in direct line of eyesight of everybody.
I was seriously looking around for some dude in a hoodie. Never found him. I swear, Dad, I never found him. He was not in that video. They photoshopped.
That was a different video.
They photoshopped.
There was 2
him
videos.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they did. They just taped the segment a couple times, I think.
Cool.
Probably. I don't know, Josh. What do you think, brother? Obviously, I'm joking on that end, but
I got a question for you. Like, you know how they had the video package and they showed there was like a camera in the car that struck Roman in the car?
yes.
Why you don't think there's another camera where they're actually showing who drove the car?
There should be. And that's a good point. We're not talking enough about the car accident.
No.
Or the attempted vehicular homicide. Let's think about that one for a second. We're totally glossing over the vehicular homicide attempt that we have going on, but let's talk about
there wasn't even a dent in the car.
Nah. Well, suspend the disbelief. But it's like Chappelle said, we're gonna talk about Kevin Hart about a word, but we're not gonna talk about him smashing a dollhouse over his son's head.
I don't think there was any dents in the there weren't any dents on the ambulance that Braun Strowman tipped over last year or whatever.
No.
He had that feud with Roman Reigns.
There should have been,
But-
though.
All right, let me ask you guys: Are we done with the guessing games, or does this still get drug out some more? Because it almost to me would appear that I thought that they were going to drag this out a little bit longer, which they still can, and I think they are. But or is it going to be kind of easy wrap up? We know it's in the circle of people that we have right now, or can they bring somebody else in? AJ, we'll start with you.
I think they can bring somebody else in.
Okay, Josh, what do you say, brother?
I agree with AJ, and also I'm not holding out hope, but I'm still wondering if there'd be something where Daniel Bryan asks Roman, like, how did you gain access to the video footage? Like,
That's a good question.
Like,
You want it to be Roman bad, huh?
Yeah.
I kind of do too. I'm not gonna lie. I think that would be a really cool storyline.
Yeah.
If he juicy Smollett himself.
Juicy.
And I'm gonna keep dropping little Chappelleisms in there for everybody listening that might
I
have.
don't mind it, man. I don't mind it. I think there'll be another person added to it because just the way SmackDown ended with the spear, it wasn't like, okay, that's it. Then Roman's gonna fight Daniel Bryan or whatever at the pay-per-view. So I'm curious to see where they go. I honestly think you're gonna get the finality of where this storyline is on the first SmackDown on Fox.
That would make the most sense.
That's where I see this going.
Yeah, I think that would make the most sense.
Yeah.
I think, and as much as we might not like it as fans, I'm just gonna put the leniency hat on here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, we have to understand, I guess, and I'm gonna say I guess because people just don't like to understand things that they don't agree with. But whether we love it or hate it, they really do have to build up that first episode of SmackDown on Fox.
And they will.
Yeah, plain and simple. So whether we love what's going on or hate what's going on, unfortunately, we're in that kind of awkward limbo state of, okay, we know that it's switching networks. We know it's going to be a big deal. We know they have big stuff planned. So we kind of can't, I don't want to say can't expect too much, but we kind of just got to go with the flow for a couple weeks, guys. I mean, it's.
Well, think about it. This upcoming week is obviously the Labor Day shows, right? So we're heading towards Clash of Champions. Maybe next week is not the greatest shows ever, which is okay. It's not the final shows before the pay-per-view. But the Raw and SmackDown before Clash of Champions is at Madison Square Garden. So you're going to add a lot of things onto that show. Hell, I saw the other day they said that Stone Cold is going to be at Raw for that MSG show. They said that's the first time Austin's been in the Garden since WrestleMania 20.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, actually.
That's proves the referee.
I haven't had a chance to watch all of his shows yet, but I heard some good reviews of it. So
yeah, we didn't watch the Baker Mayfield episode yet, but we're obviously we're saving it for like a Sunday, Saturday kind of deal. But yeah, I've watched the other two so far. I think they're funny. AJ?
Yeah, they're funny.
You like some straight up Steve Austin?
Yeah, I want to see Becky on this show because I know Becky's going to be on it.
We always learn 3 things on there, don't we?
Yes.
Yep.
There we go.
Becky's going to be on this Monday. Yes, sir.
There we go.
I saw the commercials, so it's going to be pretty cool.
There's your back to school gift right there.
Yay!
Yes, sir.
It's the day before school starts, I think.
So you'll have to watch it the next day.
No.
Yeah, because it'll be late and it'll be past your bedtime.
I
Wrestling through that as a 9-year-old. When you gotta wait.
I can watch it in my dreams.
Yeah, I'm sure that you are.
I can watch it in my dreams.
I'm sure that you are.
Yes.
That's funny. AJ, was there anything else from WWE you wanted to mention before we move on to AEW?
Let's move on to AEW.
Awesome. I want to mention really quick for those who are wondering what's going on with StarCast this weekend. They did cancel the interview that Jon Moxley's doing with JR, so that's not happening. Unfortunately, Moxley can't do it because of his elbow injury, which sucks. But I haven't heard any replacements yet. But if you are in the Chicago area, I didn't get a chance to go to the StarCast the first time. I probably won't be able to this weekend either, but it's a cool thing. I'm happy for Conrad Thompson. He's really carved a niche for himself with this convention type thing, and it's cool.
Absolutely.
It's a really cool deal. I've heard good things. There hasn't been any arrests or dumb fights at this thing yet. You remember when Jim Cornette had a fight with Santino Marella a couple years ago?
Yeah. I like Santino. That's I like Santino a lot, so I'm not getting involved in that one.
He's Italian like you.
Oh, Jesus.
The star attraction at StarCast, part of the pun, is CM Punk's podcast interview that he's going to be doing on Fight TV. So,
oh, really? I didn't hear anything about this. Huh.
Yes.
Huh. Who would have known?
There's going to be a co-host for it, right?
They haven't announced that yet. I wonder who's interviewing him.
I would love for it to be Steve Austin, man.
It should have been me. Damn it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, look, there you go, Josh. There you go.
Me. I think it should have been me personally, but
yeah,
that's also true.
Yeah, that's very true.
I want it to be Marty.
You want it to be Marty?
Marty Skrull.
Yeah.
Marty does have interview experience.
Yep.
Yes, he does. All right, let's talk about the pay-per-view Saturday night at the Sears Center Arena. For the pre-show, or the buy-in, if you want to call it that, we have the Women's Casino Battle Royal. What do you guys think about that, the Women's Casino Battle Royal?
1, we are watching it. 2, I think it's going to be good, and I can't wait to see the winner of it.
So who do you think wins out of like we know? Because we know a couple people.
I don't really know who's in it. Is Britt Baker in it?
I think Britt's in it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Josh got it right here.
I got it right here.
Okay.
Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Pittsburgh's greatest creation.
Yes.
At least wrestling wise. Allie, Brandy Rose, Teal Piper, the daughter of Roddy Piper, which is really cool.
That's right.
Eva Lise, Jazz, Big Swole, Sadie Gibbs, a girl they've been promoting in video packages and this and that. Awesome Kong's gonna be in it. Basically, Awesome Kong is just gonna do anything Brandy Rhodes wants her to do. So, Shotzi McKenzie, and then there's 10 more slots to be filled. I'll admit the first Casino Battle Royal was kind of clunky with how they had the people come out. Like, it
had a different feel to it. Yeah, I agree with that.
But I'm glad the women are having a Casino Battle Royal. But here's the thing: the first Casino Battle Royal was mixed, though. They had women in that, right? Or was it just dudes?
No, I think it was just guys.
No, the All-In Battle Royal was mixed. Now I remember.
But it was only like one or two women though, I think, right? It wasn't like a 50-50 type of split or none.
I got Brandy Rhodes win this Battle Royal. How about you guys?
I got either Teal Piper or Britt Baker winning.
Can we go with a wild card? You know what I mean? I don't know what her status is, but what about Tessa Blanchard?
She's still signed for Impact. Impact's going to be in Chicago in October.
So we got to take that off the board for right now. I was really hoping there might be a surprise there. I think she's fantastic, man. She's really, really good. I could see Brandy winning it, but in a way she doesn't. I don't know. I don't.
AJ Lee.
Don't. Here we go.
Wait, CM Punk and AJ Lee can come back at the same night at the same show.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
A battle royale.
So here's my. Let me see if you guys agree with me on this one.
Okay.
Britt right now is running as a baby face, so I almost would think that she would. Yeah, she is. So I think she would you'd want her to chase for it, right?
Yeah.
So you'd almost want a heel to come out on top, and if you're probably looking at Brandy Rhodes.
Yes. It's gonna be interesting. I'm sure the Joshie girls that are in the last couple specials will be in this match too.
Riho, I like Riho.
Riho actually has her own match. She's fighting Hikaru Shida in a singles match on the main show. The other pre-show match is Private Party against Angelico and Jack Evans. That should be a lot of fun. We're not going to make predictions for all the matches, but I just mentioned what's on this card here. Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and Marco Stunt against SCU. That should be a lot of fun. What do you guys think about that match?
I like that match. And also, I want to say something. The Private Party is like, what's their name on NXT?
Street Profits?
Street Profits.
Yeah, Street Profits. They're basically the exact same character.
I totally agree. It's just Private Party just do flips at every move they do. I don't know if they have a gymnastic background or something, but the last time I covered one of their matches is like, damn, where's the wrestling move, dude?
Okay, and about this tag match, could I say that I think Scorpio Sky is one of the most underappreciated guys in professional wrestling? Like, the dude is fantastic. He's so good on a promo. He's so good in the ring.
Let's not forget Scorpio Sky was in one of those anger management skits with Kane and Daniel Bryan.
Was he really?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go back and see
what?
that. There was a thing back in the day. Kane, you were young. I don't know if you remember. Kane and Daniel Bryan were a tag team. They went to anger management. There was this dude, Dr. Shelby.
No, I've heard of it for sure. I've seen the replay.
It's like the promo we just saw where EC3 and Cesaro were Shane's bodyguards back in 2006 against DX. Yeah, similar promos.
So where's Scorpio Sky in there?
I think in counseling. Yeah, because they had extras go in and they would just be in there.
Just like in waiting
room
type stuff.
I think they mentioned that on Being the Elite one time, and I just, forgot about it.
This next match is brought to you by Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel.
I love it.
Cracker Barrel. Where's
It's the Cracker Barrel Clash. Darby Allin against Joey Janela and Jimmy Havoc. Why is MJF not in this match?
Why is Orange Cassidy not in this match?
You guys both bring up very valid questions that I can't even follow. So
Why is Orange Cassidy not in any of these matches? In fact, he should be in every single match, including the women's matches.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Just sitting there, ducking everyone.
Yes.
You know what? I rather prefer Orange Cassidy than Pac, but that could be a hot take.
I like Pac,
Yeah.
but
I like Pac too.
I like Pac, but I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. But wait. So I do appreciate that they're at least utilizing Cracker Barrel to some comedic relief, though. Too.
Yes.
You know, that's kind of cool.
It's just funny.
Cracker Barrel.
It's just funny reading it out on the paper like this, like a radio. This match is brought to you by Cracker Barrel. Cody Rhodes against Shawn Spears. I'm surprised it's not a hardcore match or something like that. But
I agree.
Yeah.
That should be a lot of fun. Who you guys got winning that match?
Shawn Spears.
Got Shawn Spears.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay.
I got Shawn Spears too, actually.
You know what's funny, Josh, is like one of the complaints that you heard in the echo chamber was Cody's booking himself a certain way, or these people are booking themselves a certain way, and they're not really as dominant as people thought that they're helping get other talent over. But anyway, when you look at it that way, yeah, I mean, I guess man, I don't know which way to go on this one because I could see it going either way. We'll go with Shawn Spears though. Whatever.
I guess the only reason I was critical for Cody was that throne entrance. I just thought it was tacky.
Oh yeah, I dug it. I thought it was
cool. JR has a podcast with Conrad, right? It's called Grilling JR. And Conrad asked, "Hey JR, what do you think about the back and forth shots from AEW and WWE?" It's like it's lame, unnecessary. I think that's an interesting viewpoint from him since he's one of the main guys there.
I do, and I think it's interesting for him to say that when he brought in fake Diesel and fake Razor Ramon.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So let's just all keep our criticisms to the side.
I'm young enough to remember that too.
Oh God, that's when I tapped out of wrestling for a while. I was not. I was staying out of all that.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's better that way.
Yes,
it's just better that way.
Was Garbage Man there?
The Repo Man, no, or Duke the Dumpster Drozier. I'm sorry, no. Yeah. I think he was there somewhere.
Yeah. Garbage Man.
Escalera de la Muerte, Stairway to Death ladder match for the AAA World Tag Team titles. Lucha Brothers against the Young Bucks. These guys have been fighting since the beginning of the year, or even last year's All In. Who knows? These guys have been fighting each other for a while. Who you guys got win this match?
I actually got the Lucha Bros. AJ, who do you got?
I got the Lucha Bros because they belong to AAA, so it would only make sense for them to win.
We got a clean sweep on that one.
Are we starting to see, and I know I keep saying this, but are we starting to see the cracks in the foundation of the Young Bucks for a little while? You don't think they might split them and do a little singles thing for a minute? You know what I'm saying?
They're splitting them. Let's face
You're convinced they're splitting them, huh?
Yes.
All right, quick question. They don't have an in-between title for the world title. They don't have a secondary title right now, right?
Like a mid-card, yeah.
Yeah. Is it going to be TV since they're doing a lot of WCW stuff now?
I actually wouldn't mind it being a television title. What about you guys?
I wouldn't mind it either.
When you think about it, ECW's television title made Rob Van Dam. Well, I mean, Rob Van Dam made that title. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
I mean, it was the perfect storm of RVD and a title that nobody really should have cared about, and he made it one of the most important titles in professional wrestling.
Which title was that?
The ECW Television Championship.
Oh, it was literally called the ECW Television Championship.
Correct.
Cool.
Yeah. Never forget the FTW championship as well.
That's right. Taz's.
This next match is a main event anywhere around the world. The Best Friends against the Dark Order. This is a tag team match where the winners will first receive a first round bye in the AEW World Tag Team Tournament. Oh boy, man!
It's like something out of a Stanley Kubrick movie.
Yes. Hey man, I think some people are gonna get triggered with this match, but I think the Dark Order are winning. I do.
Dark Order winning here.
Yeah, I'm going with Dark Order with this one too.
This is like
winning.
This is like AEW's like, okay, we know you guys don't like this gimmick, but we're still gonna go out with it either way. So, yeah, Dark Order in that one. The last two we got Kenny Omega versus Pac. I still call Neville, but either way, Pac versus Kenny Omega. Who you guys got in this one?
I have Kenny Omega on this one. Now, if Moxley was in the match, I would think that Mox was gonna win. But I think because of his staph infection, obviously Pac had to join in, and I think that because Pac is in there, they're gonna make Kenny win.
Mox can still show up, right?
No, he can't. I don't know if he got surgery this week, but there he said he can't even do the interview thing. So I don't know.
You don't think that might be more to keep people in the dark, that he could cost Omega the match, even if he just came out at the top of whatever entranceway that they have set up or anything? Or
I don't know. Like if he just shows up and Omega's just staring at him, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I remember Kenny saying in one of his recent interviews, he was like, I need to start winning matches and this and that. So,
because on paper, it's almost a given that we would think that Omega would win, right?
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. Is your interest in this match hindered by the fact that Moxley's not wrestling on Saturday?
Yes.
Or are you still looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm still looking forward to it, but I think we'd be naive to say that we're not a little, even though I love Pac, but at the end of the day, this was the match that I kept saying it didn't need build up. It didn't need anything. So yeah, I mean, we'd be a liar if we said we weren't a little disappointed. This was the match that I think most of us were looking for. I don't know, AJ, what do you think?
I'm kind of disappointed that Mox isn't in the match.
What about crazy looking Pac though?
I like him better as Neville in WWE.
Neville.
Harry Potter.
Looks like an elf though.
Harry Potter coming out of rehab. That's what Pac looks like right now.
Pac looks mean.
Yeah.
The dude's got muscle on muscle on muscle.
Yeah.
It's scary.
He looks like if an elf retired from Santa's workshop and decided to be a wrestler.
Yeah. Jeez.
It's fair. I'll take that.
I mean, have you seen his pointy ears and his pointy nose?
Oh my god.
Here we go. The bear.
Here comes the heat.
And I'm sorry, Pac. I'm sorry if you're listening to this. I'm sorry, but you have pointy ears and a pointy nose.
Oh boy. I don't know how to transition.
I'm staying out of a lot.
That's really funny. What was I gonna say? I got to get this out of the way. I think 3 play-by-play guys in one commentary booth is overkill to the nth degree. I like Tony Schiavone. This is not a dig towards him. I don't know what they're doing with their commentary team. I really don't. I know Tony and JR worked with each other in the past in the NWA, but it's different. Tony built a brand with the way he does play-by-play commentary. He knows the moves just as much as Excalibur does. Mm-hmm. And also, this is going to be rare it's going to be a little strange for people to hear me say this because JR is the reason why I got hooked into wrestling. But if JR is going to be the analyst role, I don't think it's good for him. Because I don't know if people want to listen to him just say the same stuff he says on his podcast or the complaints he has about today's wrestling style, You know what? I love JR. And I know that people said that the last couple of times he's been on air hasn't been a home run all the time. I like JR. I think he fits well for the AEW company. But if he's just going to be the analyst role where he's just going to be nitpicking the wrestling style and just saying stuff that he hates about today's business and being the old guy, why are you having him behind the table then?
My question is, if their focus is to really engage the younger audience, and not necessarily the younger audience like through the eyes of a 9-year-old here, but they're going for that, like, that 14, 15, like, that kind of age. I don't know if any of these guys connect with that demographic.
No.
Like, I love JR. I love Tony Schiavone. I don't, Excalibur drives me nuts. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes,
he pulls a lot out of his backside, and it's just
he drives me
annoying
totally
sometimes.
insane. I wish Corey Graves would be on that.
There's no comparison to Corey Graves. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry about your damn luck, but he is the best thing going right now.
For me, Corey Graves would be perfect for that teenage type age.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He knows how to get in there with pop culture on a good way.
Yeah. Especially for how many Mean Girls jokes he used to make. Yeah. If he makes more of them, he'll definitely be good with their teams.
You just like the Mean Girls jokes.
I do.
I'm still waiting for my tool joke. But anyway, but all my thoughts aside about like, I love Shivani, I love JR, I love, but is that going to translate over to that younger demographic that they are really focusing on, and that's what I don't know.
First,
I hope so, but
if you're going to have and reach out to the younger demographic, I think there needs to be, first off, diversity, not in age, but just general diversity on the commentary table.
I agree with that.
So I don't know. It's just my opinion. I like JR. I want him to have work if this is something that he still wants to do, but I just think the way they're going about the commentary team is all over the place. I like Justin Roberts. He's done a great job on.
I love Justin Roberts.
I don't have an issue with that.
Who's he?
Ring announcer.
Oh.
Last thing because we got to wrap up the show in a couple minutes. Hangman Page against Chris Jericho, who is the first ever AEW World Champion.
Chris Jericho.
Oh, this is so tough for me because I want to pick both guys. I really, really do. And so for me, this is the match that I am most looking forward to. And I'm sure has nothing to do that I'm a Hangman fan or a total Jericho mark, but
can they just split the title in half? Can they just use a heated iron knife and just split it in half and then they both have half of it?
No. I mean, nah.
I mean, make it double.
Mm-hmm.
Make a replica.
Nah.
And then Hangman can buy it, and then he can have one for himself.
Do we have a clean finish is more of my question on this one.
No.
I don't think so either.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Is this something where they hey, we're having this match and the only way you can win is by pinfall or submission? Sometimes they'll change things last minute so you can have the hardcore weapons and this and that.
Right.
Literally every Jericho match that he's had, every Jericho match since he's left WWE has been hardcore, fighting around the ringside area, and trying to be a cameraman, flipping people off, and this and that. So I'm not saying it's a knock, but I wonder if this is going to be just a straight up wrestling match.
I don't know. There's a case to be made for both guys and why it's important that they win this championship. And I think that's what is charming about this match. Because is it going to be the old grizzled vet, the solidified name, the household name? Is it going to be the young up and comer, the future of the business? You know what I mean? This is one of those matches that we get every once in a while that actually you should be able to get excited for, right? This is one that we should absolutely it should be a no-brainer. Nobody should be complaining about this. And either outcome does make sense. So I don't, I'm okay with this. Granted, okay, now if we're talking personally, I want Jericho to win, and I will thank him personally. But that's just me. Would you thank Chris Jericho, AJ?
I would thank Chris Jericho.
I would thank him tomorrow.
Yeah. I would thank him tonight.
He should have had his thank you a while ago at this point.
What's that?
He should have got his thank you a while back ago already.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously, there's 10 matches for the AEW All Out pay-per-view this Saturday. 2 on the pre-show, 8 on the regular pay-per-view. I'm pretty excited for it. We'll see what happens. I do have a little tingling thing in the back of my head that people are just gonna crap on it if CM Punk doesn't show up, though.
Yeah, because that's what people do.
Yeah.
You should go into this expecting him not to show up.
You should attend the pay-per-view and actually back up the hype you've been putting behind AEW.
Absolutely.
So
we'll be watching it. I know that.
Yep.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. AJ, any final words before we head off this week?
The only final words I have is congratulations to Peyton Royce on her new marriage to Shawn Spears.
Look at you.
And congratulations to WWE for saying the name Ty Dillinger in an article that was posted a little over 24 hours ago.
Jeez.
Congrats.
Jesus. This is why I have limits on her phone because she's becoming a mark. You know what I mean? So I have to limit her time on a
knock on wood if you're with me.
Right?
I'm not becoming a mark.
A little bit. It's all right. We're all a mark. We're all marks. All the world's a stage.
You are more of a mark than me.
Nah.
No, you're more of a mark than me.
No, you're more of a mark.
By the way, I liked that you wanted to make sure you somehow mentioned Peyton Royce. regardless. You want to make sure you slip her in there.
Well, I wanted to make sure that I congratulate her for her new marriage.
I'm sure she appreciates it.
I congratulate everybody on a new marriage.
Oh boy! All right, we gotta get out of here.
It's getting thick up here.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, AJ, as always, for coming on the show.
No problem. Bye-bye.
That's it. No, that's your sign off today. Just bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There we go.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Always remember, folks, skip to the end. Skip to the end, folks. All right, brother. Let's put a ribbon on this bad boy. We got one more episode of Hard Knocks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Knock on wood.
The cut episode.
I have that thing stuck in my head now.
It's so good. Gruden gets me so fired up, man.
Mm-hmm. I just like how obsessed he is with people running through other people. We got run through their ass.
Well, you can tell he's an old school guy that doesn't care what the field's like. He just wants to play some football, and there is something refreshing about that.
I think he has a chip on his shoulder this season.
Oh, he definitely does.
And I get it. He's kind of always been the edgy type of coach. I understand that, but for whatever reason, I just feel like this year he feels like he has something to prove to people. I don't know.
Well, I think it's more that we'll talk predictions and stuff like that next week before the season starts. But
yeah, our football show next week.
Yeah, but I feel like they know that this is more of a oh man, if the Raiders have to go into Vegas with some momentum. So, I think it's one of those where, it's a chip on his shoulder. I mean, obviously he didn't like getting traded and, there's and he's a winner and he wants to win. But I think that you just want to go into your new city when we go to Sin City with a lot of momentum. And even if we finish 8-8, which is probably where we're finishing, that's still better than 4-12. It's a 4-game improvement. It's, so if they can get the 500 mark, I think it's a win season for us. But but at the same time, we're gonna have a bunch of undrafted rookies probably make the team. We're gonna have, and it's one of those where you kind of got to talk your team up. That's the one thing I give Gruden credit for. He's always talking his team up, no matter what.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I saw a news anchor said that the Chiefs are going to be 16-0 this season.
Yeah, okay, sure. Is Tyreek Hill still beating his kid or no? Allegedly, have to put allegedly in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you know what? I don't know. I've never been sold on Andy Reid. So even if they go 16-0, they're going to lose in the second round of playoffs anyway. So
yeah,
makes it easy.
It's like there's two gimmicks right now for the NFL. It's Chiefs are going to be 16-0, and the Eagles are going to be unstoppable. And by the way, shout out to Ant. By the way, Eagles fan and a good brother to our show. I'm excited for his team. I mean, obviously there's still always drama and dysfunction with the Cowgirls and the Giants are the Giants. So I'm excited for the Eagles, but man, if you watch some of these ESPN shows, you think the Eagles are just shoehorned for the Super Bowl this year. Holy shit, man.
I don't even know what moves that. See, I don't really watch off-season football just because I save it for the regular season.
I'm a sports junkie here, so.
Yeah, I got too much going on. I used to be like that. I just got too much going on. I don't know where anybody is other than the Raiders right now, and who I've drafted in fantasy so far this year.
One last thing I'm going to mention before we head out this week. Make sure to go check out that new Tool album tomorrow. Oh,
tonight at midnight, baby. So if you're listening to this, it's probably already out. I know it leaked somewhere, but I'm still waiting for it to actually hit. You know what? I'm going to tie something else into music. I got one thing. Watch the VMAs this week. Number one, I don't even know. Music is just, I'm past today's music.
I'm out of the loop on that too.
Yeah, I'm past today's music. But number two, leave it to Missy Elliott to come back and have the performance of it, of the decade. And if you don't know nothing about the little chick that used to date or that used to dance in Missy Elliott's Work It video, that's now a grown ass woman and doing the same thing. I think Allison Stoner, I believe is her name. Yeah. For me. And listen, it's one of those hey, how we pop at wrestling events. I totally popped when his chick came out to dance. It was so great. And then I got my old man stuff in with Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah, Redman. Nice. It actually wasn't bad this year. So I'm going to give the VMAs a little bit of credit. But if you haven't seen Missy's performance, go back and check it out. Because it was all over social media. You guys are into that, not me. So I'm sure you guys have seen it. But if you didn't pop at her coming out and doing a Work It dance, you don't have a soul.
Missy Elliott, Timbaland, and Aaliyah. That's my childhood right there. So,
ooh, Timberland was on there too, and they mentioned Aaliyah. So,
good times, man. What was I gonna say? Yo, Etsy, you need to stop trying to make Shawn Mendes out like he's the next Justin Timberlake. Gee.
I don't get it. I don't. Listen, I'm staying out of that one.
Yeah.
Listen, I have my favorite band's releasing a 90-minute album tonight. So, meanwhile, people can't listen to a song for longer than 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to stay mum on this situation.
We all have our music fix, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you guys so much for checking out episode 170 of the Hoots Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Hoots Podcast. Adam is on Instagram at the.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
No, you're not?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. Delete.
Nope.
Oh, speaking of delete, hashtag free to delete. I need some more Broken Man Hardy in my life, please.
You just don't understand.
You don't understand how hard. That guy's awesome. Thank you, AJ, again for coming on the show as always. Thank you guys for checking out the live show. I know we had some viewers on today, so that's pretty cool. Make sure to subscribe to the video version on YouTube if you want to listen to the audio and the Barrett Corbett Pro and all the extra stuff I put on the podcast. Check it out, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcast from. For the Clown Prince and AJ, I'm Joshie. Thank you guys for checking out the Hoots Podcast. Next week will be our football preview show. And enjoy All Out. Enjoy TakeOver Cardiff. And we'll recap it next week. Peace. Boom.